The acting head of ICE just admitted that his own agents lied under oath. And the Secretary of Homeland Security repeated those lies on national television. And federal prosecutors are now investigating those agents for perjury. And the whole thing unraveled because a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from deporting the witnesses. Friday, February 13th, 2026. According to CNN, PBS, the Minnesota Reformer, Raw Story, and multiple other outlets, ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons released a statement admitting that 2 ICE officers appear to have made untruthful statements under oath about a shooting that happened January 14th in Minnesota. Let me tell you what happened and why this matters. According to all the reporting, on January 14th, 2026, ICE officers were involved in a traffic stop in Minnesota that led to a shooting. A man named Julio Cesar Sosa Celis was shot in the leg. And according to CNN and PBS reporting, the officers claimed they were ambushed and attacked with snow shovels and broom handles by 3 men. They said they feared for their lives. They said it was self-defense. And according to CNN and PBS, the very next day, January 15th, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem went on Fox News and repeated that story. According to the reporting, she said officers were doing targeted enforcement when an individual drove away, crashed his car, and tried to run into a home. And according to her statement reported by CNN, as they were wrestling on the ground trying to detain this individual, 2 other men came out of that building and started attacking him with weapons and shovels and brooms. And as it was 3-on-1, the agent feared for his life and defensively had to take action. That was the story. Federal agents ambushed, attacked with shovels and brooms, 3-on-1. Agent feared for his life, defensive action. And the Secretary of Homeland Security went on national television and told that story to millions of Americans. Except according to the statement from ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons released Friday, video evidence has revealed that sworn testimony provided by 2 officers appears to have made untruthful statements. Both officers have been immediately placed on administrative leave pending investigation. And according to the statement reported across all outlets, the U.S. Attorney's Office is actively investigating these false statements for potential criminal prosecution. So the story Kristi Noem told on Fox News was a lie. The sworn testimony the officers gave was a lie. And now federal prosecutors are investigating those officers for perjury. According to CNN reporting, DHS has not responded to questions about whether Secretary Noem stands by her earlier comments defending the officers. But here is where this story gets even more disturbing. According to CNN and the International Business Times, federal prosecutors charged Sosa Celis and another man, Alfredo Alhorna, with crimes related to the January 14th incident. And according to those reports, the Trump administration attempted to deport both men and other witnesses before the investigation could proceed. Think about what that means. Officers shot someone. Officers lied about what happened. Federal prosecutors charged the victim with crimes based on those lies. And then the administration tried to deport the witnesses so the lies could never be exposed. According to the Mirror and other outlets, a federal judge had to block the deportations because the witnesses were material to the case. And according to CNN and the International Business Times, on Friday, February 13th, U.S. District Judge Paul Magnuson dismissed all charges against Sosa Celis and Alhorna with prejudice. With prejudice means the charges cannot be refiled. The case is over. And according to that reporting, the dismissal came after video evidence contradicted the officer's sworn testimony. So let me walk through this timeline because it reveals a pattern. January 14th, officers shoot Julio Cesar Sosa Celis. Officers claim they were ambushed and attacked with shovels and brooms. January 15th, Secretary Noem goes on Fox News and repeats that story, attacking Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey in the process. According to CNN, Noem said, "Governor Walz has my phone number. I have called him and said, listen, you let your city burn down in 2020, don't do it again." So Noem used the officer's story to attack Democratic elected officials. She made it political. She made it a national story. And according to all the reporting, federal prosecutors charged the 2 men based on the officer's testimony. But according to the Mirror and CNN, defense attorneys obtained video evidence. The administration tried to deport the witnesses and defendants. A federal judge blocked the deportations. And once the video evidence was reviewed, the entire story collapsed. According to the Minnesota Reformer and other outlets, Todd Lyons' statement said, "Lying under oath is a serious federal offense." and officers may face termination and criminal prosecution. But according to CNN reporting, DHS has not said whether Noem stands by her statements or whether she regrets going on national television to repeat lies told by agents who are now under criminal investigation. Now, let me connect this to the broader pattern. According to reporting we verified earlier, 2 American citizens were killed by federal immigration agents in Minnesota in January, Renee Good and Alex Priddy. And according to the GRIO and other outlets reporting on the current DHS shutdown, 2 other DHS officers reportedly lied about their involvement in a separate shooting of a Venezuelan immigrant in Minnesota in January. So in Minnesota alone, in January alone, we have 4 separate incidents involving federal immigration agents. 2 American citizens killed, 1 immigrant shot, and officers lying about it, and 1 immigrant shot with officers lying about that too. And in at least 2 of those cases, officers lied under oath. And in at least 1 case, the Secretary of Homeland Security went on national television to repeat those lies before any investigation was completed. According to CNN reporting, when Noem went on Fox News on January 15th, she did not say the facts are still being gathered. She did not say we are investigating. She presented the officer's version as fact. She used it to attack Democratic officials. She made it a political weapon. And now those officers are under criminal investigation for lying under oath. This is not normal. This is not how law enforcement is supposed to work. When officers are involved in a shooting, you investigate, you gather evidence, you interview witnesses, you review video. You determine what happened before you go on national television to declare the officers were ambushed and acted in self-defense. But according to all the reporting, Noem did none of that. She took the officers' word, she repeated their story, and she made it political. And here is what makes this pattern so dangerous. According to the reporting, the Trump administration tried to deport the witnesses. Think about what that means for accountability. If a federal judge had not blocked those deportations, the witnesses would be gone. The video evidence might never have been reviewed. The officers' lies would have stood. The charges against innocent people would have remained. And the next time officers lied about a shooting, they would know they could get away with it. According to CNN, after the charges were dismissed Friday, defense attorney Lori Soroya said justice prevailed today. But justice almost did not prevail. Justice prevailed because defense attorneys fought hard, because a federal judge blocked deportations, because video evidence was preserved and reviewed. But how many other cases are there where video does not exist, where witnesses get deported, where lies are never exposed? According to the statement from Todd Lyons reported across all outlets, ICE takes these allegations extremely seriously. But taking allegations seriously means investigating before the secretary goes on Fox News. It means not trying to deport witnesses. It means not filing charges based on uncorroborated officer statements. And it means the Secretary of Homeland Security issuing a correction when video proves she repeated false information to millions of Americans. According to CNN reporting, DHS has not responded to questions about whether Noem stands by her statements. That silence is telling, because if the Secretary of Homeland Security goes on national television and repeats lies told by agents now under criminal investigation for perjury and then refuses to acknowledge those lies when they are exposed, what message does that send to every federal agent in the field? The message is clear. Tell whatever story protects you. The Secretary will repeat it on Fox News. Federal prosecutors will file charges based on it. And if witnesses threaten to expose the lies, we will try to deport them. That is not law enforcement. That is a cover-up system. And this is happening while DHS is shut down because Democrats are demanding accountability reforms, body cameras, warrants, use of force standards. Republicans are refusing those reforms while arguing there is no serious policy problem. But this case proves there is a serious policy problem. Officers lied under oath. The Secretary repeated those lies. Witnesses were targeted for deportation, and charges were filed against innocent people based on false testimony. According to all the reporting, the U.S. Attorney's Office is investigating the officers for perjury. But who investigates the secretary who repeated their lies without verification? Who holds accountable the administration that tried to deport witnesses? Who ensures this pattern does not continue? Because according to the reporting on the DHS shutdown, this is not an isolated incident. This is a pattern. And the pattern is federal agents lying, officials repeating those lies, and the system trying to cover it up by removing witnesses. Friday, February 13th, 2026. ICE acting director admits agents lied. Federal judge dismisses charges with prejudice. U.S. attorney investigates perjury. And Secretary of Homeland Security refuses to say whether she stands by statements now proven false. That is where we are. And here is what should terrify everyone watching. According to the reporting, this happened in January. We are now in mid-February. And according to CNN, DHS still has not said whether Secretary Noem stands by her statements or regrets making them. A full month after going on Fox News to repeat lies told by agents now under criminal investigation, the Secretary of Homeland Security has offered no correction, no clarification, no apology. That means either she still believes the officer's version despite video evidence proving it false, or she knows it was false and refuses to admit she repeated lies on national television. Either option is disqualifying for someone running the Department of Homeland Security. According to the reporting, when Noem went on Fox News, she did not just repeat the officer's story. She weaponized it. She attacked Governor Tim Walz. She referenced the 2020 Minneapolis protests. She made the shooting about politics before anyone had investigated what actually happened. And when video proved the officers lied, when charges were dismissed with prejudice, when federal prosecutors opened a perjury investigation, Noem went silent. But her silence speaks. It tells every federal agent that the secretary will back them even when they lie. It tells every immigrant that their testimony will not be believed even when video proves them right. It tells every defense attorney that the administration will try to deport their clients before evidence can be reviewed. And it tells every American that the Department of Homeland Security under Kristi Noem operates on a principle of protect agents first, determine truth later, and never admit mistakes. According to the timeline in all the reporting, the January 14th shooting happened. January 15th, Noem defended the officers on Fox News. Weeks passed. Defense attorneys fought for video evidence. The administration tried to deport witnesses. A judge blocked deportations. More weeks passed. Video was reviewed. And Friday, February 13th, ICE admitted the agents lied, and the judge dismissed all charges. That is a month of innocent people facing criminal charges based on false testimony. A month of officers knowing they lied and watching the secretary defend them anyway. A month of a cover-up that only failed because defense attorneys fought hard enough and a judge blocked witness deportations. Without those two things, this story never comes to light. The lies stand, the cover-up succeeds, and officers learn they can shoot people, lie about it, and face no consequences as long as they claim self-defense. That is the system Kristi Noem is running at the Department of Homeland Security. And that is why Democrats shut down DHS rather than fund it without accountability reforms. Because this pattern will continue until someone stops it, and Republicans are refusing to stop it. They say there is no serious policy problem while the Secretary of Homeland Security repeats lies on national television and refuses to acknowledge them when exposed.